Hi everyone, Flossy here again. Once again, I'm going to be looking at 3 Eurovision songs. My favourite song will get 3 points, my least favourite song will get 1 point. I can't talk today. So far I've looked at 18 songs. It's been a while since I last looked at a song because I've been ill and working, just lots going on. So I'm going to try and bang out quite a few reviews at the moment. Now let's get to it. My first song is Serbia, and like usual I'm going to pronounce things wrong. It's by Sanja Ilk, I don't know, and Balkanica, and the song is called Nova Deka. I watched a live performance of it. I'm not sure if it was from a national final or not, but it was live, so that was what made the difference for me. And the song was in Serbian, I believe, unless they speak a different language. I'm so ignorant, I'm so sorry. In regards to the actual song, I thought it had a very mystical opening. It kind of reminded me of some of the 90s Eurovision songs. It reminded me of you kind of have the Nocturne and I Am the Voice feel. It's kind of that was the decade when kind of Ireland was just reigning supreme, winning 4 times. And I think I read somewhere, someone thought it was because there was a kind of Celtic tone to it. And one of the reasons why Norway won with Nocturne was because that had that sort of a tone. And this is what that reminded me of. I really liked the chorus. It was almost anthemic, which was quite nice. And it was a bit confusing, the song, because it seemed like the chorus is the only part with actual lyrics. Outside of it, they tend to do lots of long notes instead. And it might be that it's kind of long opera notes where you are actually singing something, but I think maybe because I don't speak the language they're singing in, that doesn't quite come across to me like they're actually singing words. It just looks like they're going la, kind of really long. That was really out of tune as well. Not them, me. Vocally, the only thing I can say is that they were strong vocals. I thought they harmonised quite well. There's not much else to it. It was good for the song, it was. Staging and performance-wise, it was very serious, and there was lots of armography, which I quite liked. It was a kind of interesting mix of the new and old visually. There was I think he was a flute player. This kind of old classic, he was dressed quite modern, but playing a very classic instrument. It was an older man, and then you had a younger man in the background playing the drums on, I don't know exactly what the name for it is. It was a modern electric drum kit, where it's not actually, a drum stand with all the individual drums. It's almost like a DJ booth, and you kind of tap the what's the word? Well, you're tapping on this booth almost, it's like a keyboard, kind of. That kind of equivalent for a drum kit, I guess. Overall, I thought it was an interesting song. It's not necessarily what I would listen to, but it's also not something I would use for my toilet break during the show. So that's a good sign. I'd previously seen a clip of the chorus, and that didn't particularly stand out to me, but seeing the whole thing all the way through, all together, it made it more rounded, and it made me like the song a lot more. Now, the second song I looked at was Slovenia's song. It's by Lea Srk, and it's called Vala Ne, I think. It's in Slovenian. It was from a live performance. I think it's the national final again. In regards to the actual song, it's very modern and electronic. It's kind of like a dance. You imagine they're going drop the beat at some points. I don't know much about dance music, but this is what it reminded me of, the kind of thing you find DJs playing in live concerts. And then I just watched those prank videos where you start to drop the beat and then they start playing Spandau Ballet or something. That's the song before is what it reminds me of. I do like the ending of it where she just goes nay, 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 and every time she says nay, there's a dancer that drops to the floor, which I thought was quite funny. Vocally, it's tricky because the vocals aren't particularly outstanding, but they're good for what it is. It's not like it's a big ballad where you're going to show off your vocals. you know, she's maintaining her vocals throughout, like, the song. She's always dancing. So they're good vocals, but they're not outstanding vocals. For the staging, this is not for people with epilepsy to watch. I will say there's a lot of flashing going on. But there was one point where, like, before she went into the first chorus, it was kind of like, you know, you do the verse and then, like, this kind of pre-chorus and then the chorus, and during this little pre-chorus bit, it just changed to this very cold blue lighting, which it didn't quite suit it for me. It was too cold. And there was one point, like, she has 4 or 5 dancers surrounding her and dancing the entire way through, and they hold up these frames and, like, she goes round, they're kind of standing in the background holding up these frames in front of them, and she goes to each one and, like, looks in them, and I kind of thought, oh, it's something to do with looking in the reflection of the mirror, but, like, they're all doing these different dance moves and she's not doing anything like that, so I'm just like, is it supposed to be a mirror, or I don't know. It's a bad mirror if it's a mirror, that's what I will say. Overall, I think it was a very busy... the whole thing was busy. Like, the song was quite busy, the performance was busy, the lighting was busy, all combined together. It's very busy and there was a lot going on. I can't work out if it will stand out or not in actual Eurovision. I think it's very... well, it's not very different. Like, there's going to be songs like it, but... it's in a kind of more unique section of Eurovision than other songs. Like, you're more likely to find the ballads, like a big group of ballads, whereas this is going to be in a more, like, niche section, I think. I didn't actually like the song. It's not that I don't think it's a good... well, I don't know. It's not my type of music, so I didn't like it because of that. It's not something I would choose to listen to, whereas, like, this is the type of song I think you find in a club almost, and, like, those types of clubs are my idea of how I like cheesy music, and this was not that. However, speaking of cheese, the next song is Spain's song. It's by Amaya and Alfred. Finally, a name I can pronounce. Thank you, Alfred. And the song is called Tu Canción. Probably pronounced wrong. Obviously, Spain is in Spanish. I watched the national final performance. I had seen it before, and my initial thoughts of it were, it's very sweet, but it's very cringy at the same time. In regards to the actual song, I like the opening of the song. It's very simple. It's a very nice song. It's a very beautiful song. So there's not much. It kind of, like, maintains, like, this level throughout the entire song, except when they're, like, doing these build up kind of things, like, together. It doesn't sound like that, trust me, but that's kind of like they're maintaining these long notes, and, like, that's kind of like how the song stays. It's kind of like on this same calm level. Vocally, I think the vocals are good. Nothing particularly outstanding. Once again, it's, like, not like this epic big ballad, you know, it's not like Jennifer Hudson type notes, but very good, and the harmonies are very good as well. For the actual performance, it's so cheesy. It's kind of like, look at us, we're so in love, we're slow dancing, we're gazing into each other's eyes, and I'm just there going, oh my god, this is so awkward to watch. Like, you can be in love and, like, looking at each other without being just so over the top. You're kind of there going, oh, get a room. Like, at the end, like, when they're doing the last notes, they're doing an Eskimo kiss, which leads into an actual kiss. And I was just there rolling my eyes like, oh, God, no. Oh, it's so cheesy. Like, I think, like, overall, like, it just needs to be less in your face. That's, like, my general conclusion. Just watching that live performance, just be less in your face. I know they've done a second performance that's slightly less cheesy, thank God. Because it's a shame, because I really like this song. I think it's a very sweet, beautiful song. And, oh God, just the performance, like, that's... It, on one hand, it's a good thing, because you're going to be there thinking, oh God, Spain was so cheesy, but you're going to remember it. And it was, to be honest, a massive improvement on last year. Last year's song was my toilet break song. It was just... I told my friends who were watching it with me, I was like, no, Spain is a crap song this year. And they were there, like, filming themselves, dancing and chilling to it, and then Spain got almost 0 points, and I was there like, I was right. So this is a massive improvement, I will say. It's not my toilet break song this year. The only thing with this song is just it needs to be less cringy. They need to find a middle ground for the romance of it all. Like, we get it, like, you can be young and in love without being in your face. They need to find a nice in-between. It's almost like, I don't know if they're actually dating. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if they were, but it's the kind of thing, like, you can imagine both of them will look back on in 10 years and cringe at. You know, the kind of thing where you go, oh, remember when I went on the biggest televised music competition in the world and slow danced in front of millions of people and did Eskimo kisses? Like, oh, you're going to cringe at it. I'm just there going, oh, bless their little cotton socks. Just, oh, God. It's a unique thing in any case, which is entertaining for me. Overall, this time, it's a very diverse selection. You kind of go from an almost anthemic kind of ethnic piece to a modern dance piece to a really soppy romance piece. So it was really interesting to see the differences. My ranking this time for it is, I'm only going to give Slovenia 1 point. I can't fault it, it's not my type of song and it was too busy. Those are my only issues with it. Like, for some people I think they will love it, but for me it's a no. It's just not my type of thing. It's kind of similar to, like, very different music, obviously, but it's similar to my views on Hungary this year, where I can kind of appreciate it for, like, the type of genre it is, but I don't personally like it. It's just not to my taste. I'm giving 2 points to Serbia. I did like it more than I thought I would, and I can't really fault it. The only flaw I can really find is that not as much as Slovenia, but it's not particularly to my taste, this song. I do like it, and it's the kind of song where if I just happen to be, like, having music on shuffle and it comes on, you know, it's a kind of 50-50. I may listen to it, I may not. So it's just, like, not exactly what I would like to listen to, but it's nice in any case. And obviously that means Spain is getting my 3 points. It's cheesy, it's awkward to watch, but it's a really sweet song. I've got it stuck in my head at the moment, which is a miracle because all day I've been singing Hamilton songs. And I keep contradicting myself with this song. It's just the staging, it's like, when I'm actually watching it, it's so cringy. But when I think back on it, it's amusing and makes me go, "Aw," like, in a patronising way, I think. Like, oh, bless them, little teenage. I think they are teenagers or very, very, like, well, they're younger than me, so I'm like, oh, bless. That's kind of my view. So, as a result, Spain is now joining Romania, the Netherlands, Moldova, Italy, Denmark, and Czech Republic in the, like, 3-point group. And now Slovenia's down with San Marino, Montenegro, Malta, Hungary, Germany, and Albania with 1 point. I'm really liking how diverse this whole thing is looking now, so I'm very excited for it. I'm Flossy. Ta-ta!